Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
My name is Billy Jonas, and this is Sherman Hoover, and this is Ashley Joe Farmer. We're the Billy Jonas fan. Thank you. And we're here for the whole weekend. We'll be here all weekend. And this is a Shabbaton. I don't know if y'all are familiar. We came in this morning. We were at the Early Childhood Center, and then we're here tonight. Tomorrow we're going to do a workshop in the morning called Living the Shema. It comes right after the morning service.
Sharing Shabbat service.
And then we're going to be here on Sunday for Simchat Torah celebration. We're here from Asheville, North Carolina, and it's wonderful. So we're going to start. We're going to do some songs that you've never heard before, and some that you have, and they'll all have liturgical integrity, but they might be a little different. And what I like to tell people is, if it takes you off of your normal prayer trajectory, allow it to just expand that prayer moment for you, if you would. Say, oh, that's a different way to sing that. And it may open up something new for you if you have that kind of relaxation with it. Like, oh, I never thought of it that way. For instance, the Shema tonight will be very different. And it's an opportunity. So we're going to start with something you may know. Love, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Love, prepare me.
Love, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you.
Try with harmony this time.
Love, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you.
Try
Hine mato umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine mato umanayim shevet achim gam yachad.
You know what you were just saying in Hebrew is, here it is good. Let us hang out together, brothers and sisters, and it is good. Take a breath. The fact that we can do that means things are good. I know it's not as easy for everybody to take that breath. Some of us come in here with invisible challenges that make breathing deep like that quite an effort. We know that, even though we can't see that, and we acknowledge that. We acknowledge that we come in carrying many heavy bags and many heavy memories and many heavy fears about the future. And we want to acknowledge that in this moment, it is good. It's good. We're together. And we're in this sanctuary, this temporary sanctuary. Beautiful temporary sanctuary. It looks pretty strong, unlike the two sukkahs that we have to the left and the right of us, which are beautiful and not so strong, right? They're strong enough to meet the standards of the insurance companies. But they gotta let in the rain, they gotta let in the cold, and as my kids in my synagogue like to say, they even let in the bird poop. Let me tell you, that gets kids coming back to Sunday school when you tell them, really? And they remind me each week, it lets in the bird poop. So this opening song is asking us to acknowledge that it's good, and it's asking us to acknowledge that we are walking, talking, living, breathing antennas to the stars. We are sanctuaries if we choose to treat ourselves that way. We just finished the 10 days of awe, where we had an opportunity to do a little inventory, a little cheshbon hanefesh, and get right with ourselves, a little accounting of the soul. Guess what? If you didn't, it's not too late. We do it every Friday through Saturday. An opportunity to remind ourselves that we are sanctuaries if we choose to be. So let's sing it again, sanctuary, and then we'll go in another direction too.
Love, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you.
And in the Torah, there's a passage in Parshat Truma where God says, go and build me a sanctuary, and I will dwell within. Va'asuli mikdash, v'shachanti b'tocham. It doesn't say I'll dwell within the sanctuary, it just says I'll dwell within. It's implied it's the sanctuary, but go do that work, and I'll be with you, basically. Go Be a walking, talking, living sanctuary and build sanctuaries wherever you go. Sanctuaries for love, sanctuaries for positivity and good things, sanctuaries for all that you hold dear. And I will dwell within you and the sanctuary. Va'asuli. Va'asuli. Mikdash. V'shachanti.
V'shachanti.
B'tocham. Va'asuli. Va'asuli. Mikdash. V'shachanti. B'tocham. Love, prepare me.
To be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you.
With thanksgiving.
With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I have to say, it feels a little silly to offer a welcome after that. Thank you for the beautiful, that beautiful way for all of us to enter Shabbat. We add to our greeting of Shabbat Shalom the greeting for these intermediate festival days of Sukkot, the greeting Moadim L'Simcha, which means may these festival times be times of joy. I am Cantor Amanda Kleinman, joined on the bima this evening by Rabbi Jonathan Blake, by Cantor Danielle Radnitsky, of course by our pianist and conductor Pete Malinverni, and by our wonderful guests who have already introduced themselves, but about whom Cantor Radnitsky will share a little bit more in just a moment. It is actually a commandment on the holiday of Sukkot for us to be joyous. In the book of Deuteronomy, we read, V'samachta b'chagecha v'hayita ach sameach. May you rejoice in this festival, and may you have nothing but gladness. I think that there is a lot to be glad about and a lot to be grateful for as we sit under this tent on this beautiful autumn evening to welcome Shabbat together. But we thought it might be nice to add a little bit of extra joy and extra gladness with our guests who are with us this Shabbat to help us celebrate Sukkot and Simchat Torah, as well as the installation of Rabbi Citron on Sunday, and of course to help us welcome Shabbat this evening. And so with that, I would love to turn it over to Cantor Radnitsky to help us get to know our guests this evening a little better.
So you've already seen how amazing they are, Billy, Sherman, and Ashley. They help us reconnect to the rhythm of our hearts, and not only in this beautiful meditative way that we've just seen, but also by using recycled materials to make instruments. That's not going to feature so heavily in tonight's service, but on Sunday, if you come back, you may see more. You already see these drums clipped together with plastic clips. There's a big drum that's a plastic barrel, and it's connected to a skateboard as part of the stand. They filled a water jug with Mardi Gras beads, I heard this morning, and that's a shaker and a drum. And so with our recycled materials, anything can become an instrument, even ourselves and our bodies and our chairs, and Billy and the band help us remember how to reconnect to ourselves, to the earth, and to each other.
If only we had Sukkot and Shabbat and our guest artists in residence, Billy Jonas and the band, with us tonight, Dayenu, it would be plenty. It would be plenty, I know. But it would be plenty for us to say, V'hayita ach sameach. We are really nothing but happy. But all the more reasons to be happy include the fact that tomorrow afternoon at WRT, Coco Zemekson and Jordan Saperstein will celebrate Bat and Bar Mitzvah. And I see Jordan here in the house tonight with his mom and dad and at least one sibling. Oh, there's a brother too. So will the Saperstein family please come up at this time to help us kindle these lights for Shabbat. If you're following in the prayer books, our bracha, our blessing over the kindling of light, is on page 120. So, well, Lord, you've been preparing to make yourself a sanctuary of Torah and of joyful leading of prayer and of being connected with your family, your friends, and our WRT family for a very long time now, Jordan. Tomorrow is a day for lifting up all that you've done with joy, and we share in it tonight as a congregational community, and we want to wish you a heartfelt Mazel Tov. Thank you so much. Shabbat Shalom.
We continue welcoming Shabbat together now with the words of Lecha Dodi. You can find them on page 138. We'll sing together verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. 146, we remain standing for Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Va'ed. Page 150.
You may be seated.
How's that volume? Can piano coming through? Okay. Come over. Let's be together. It's time for Ahavat Olam. Ahava means love. Olam means the universe or all realms or the world. This is a infinite, ever-expanding love that we're singing about here. And I know usually we just dive right in, but I'm taking a moment with you because it's such a beautiful moment that sometimes just flies by. You know, I go to many services and it's like you're on a train and, oh, there's another town, oh, there's another town, there's another prayer, there's another prayer. I'm not saying you all do that, but I like to take time with each town we pass, each prayer we pass, to mind the beauty of it. So let's say Ahava. Ahava means love. Ahava. Ahava. Harmony's good. Ahava. More harmony. Ahava. Till it resonates here. Say Ahavat Olam, infinite everlasting love. In the house of Israel, for the house of Israel, Beit Israel. And you all know, right, that Yisrael means not only the land of Israel, not only the people of Israel, but literally those who wrestle with God. Every living being on the planet wrestles with God. So when we're singing about an abiding love, an infinite love, it's not proprietary. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Havta, Amcha Ahavta. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Ahavta, Amcha Ahavta. Torah, Torah, mitzvot, u'mitzvot, u'kim u'mishpatim, otanu lemadeta. Ahava, please join us. Ahava, Ahava. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Ahavta, Amcha Ahavta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu, b'shochbenu v'kumenu, Nahasiach behukecha
ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. The first three syllables of the word Shema. All right, let's use some music with that. Oh, I hear some wisdom. What was that? It sounds what? Slow motion. It sounds slow motion. That's exactly it. Let's get our tuning together. Because Shabbat is about slowing down, so we do it in slow motion. You are so wise. Shh. We're going to tease out the deeper meaning of the Shema a little bit. Shh. It means be quiet. Embrace. Let love live in your heart. What that means is, shh, be quiet, all those voices. Embrace what you feel. Try it out with eyes closed, just see what happens. This is an ancient technology. It's a very usable technology, like when you're stuck in traffic. When your spouse says something and you go, how could you possibly think that? How could you? Embrace what you feel. That is amazing. It's the sound we make when it feels good and also when it hurts. We say, There's a song leader gathering in Wisconsin. It's called Hawanashira. And there was a person there named Rachel Woolman. Do you know Rachel Woolman?
I do.
She's a big spirit. One time I heard her singing Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Do you know that one? Olam Chesed Yibaneh. For about 30 minutes. It was her and one other person.
It
and
was
they
me.
Was that you?
It was me.
I didn't know that.
I know. It's crazy.
It was a big moment for me. I remember walking by you all and it sounded so good. You were in that foyer and you were in a vortex. Didn't matter. It was just the two of them. They were in it. And I came back by 25 minutes later and you were still in it. Well, I went home just remembering that, and then I had this dream. And it must have been you along with Rachel, but I remember Rachel singing these words, this melody that we're about to do. I had no idea I was bringing it home to my dream instigator here. It went like this. This is the prayer of our fathers and mothers. This is the prayer of our sisters and brothers. This is the prayer supporting all others. We say that again, try. This is the prayer of our fathers and mothers. Sister, brother. This is the prayer of our sisters and brothers. This is the prayer supporting all others. We say, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Everything is God. Everything is one. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Yalla la la la, yalla la la la, yalla la la la. This is the most important part. Yalla la la la, yalla la la la, yalla la la la. Will you add your harmonies? Yalla la la la, yalla la la la, yalla la la la. Yalla la la la, yalla la la la, yalla la la la. Would you clap on the offbeat, please? Yalla la la la, yalla la la la, yalla la la. Little louder. Yalla la la, yalla la la, yalla la la. Keep it over here. Yalla la la la, yalla la la, yalla la la. Yalla la la, yalla la la, yalla la la. Come on, come on. Yalla la la, yalla la la, yalla la la. Oh yes. Yalla la la la, yalla la la la, yalla la la la. This is the prayer of our fathers and mothers. This is the prayer of our sisters and brothers. This is the prayer supporting all others. We say, Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'derech ושוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך
למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Adonai Elohechem, Amen. When the Jews got to the Red Sea, they trusted that Via Hafta was true. That if we share love with the world, we will be safe, we'll have safe passage. And they got there and the waters parted. Whether it was literal or metaphorical, it doesn't matter. They got there and something amazing happened and they said, Mi chamocha. And if you don't know, the translation of that is, OMG. Literally, Mi chamocha means, OMG, oh my God. So we're going to sing Mi chamocha in a Zulu melody that was made common during the apartheid era. It sounds like this. We walk. Oh, that's too high. Where did we start it? You get the melody and then I'll come in. Walking in the light of God. We are walking in the light of God. There we go. We are walking in the light of God. We are walking in the light of God. We are walking, oh, we are walking in the light of God. We are walking, oh, we are walking in the light of God. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh. Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh. Torah tehilot osef elen. Torah tehilot osef elen. We are walking in the light of God. 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 We are walking, oh, we are walking in the light of God. We are walking, oh, we are walking in the light of God.
Page 160, the bottom of the page. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose sukkah of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem.
Israel.
הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה רב להושיע. מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
We take a few moments now to pray silently, either standing or seated. The traditional words of the Amidah continue through page 180, or you might wish to take a few moments for your own silent prayers and reflections. Billy and Ashley and Sherman have certainly given us much on which to meditate tonight. We continue silently.
The Amidah is the standing prayer. In the version we do, we start with Avot ve'imahot, the ancestors. We move on to Gevurot, the heroic strength of the divine, the brave fortitude of us, and the divinity within us. And then we finish with the third part, the Kedusha, the holiness of God, the expansive effervescence of all that. And I love that that traces a path from the ground up through our heads, right? The ancestors, those who came before us, which are literally their ashes and their dust is in the ground below our feet. We stand upon our ancestors, and then Gevurot, the things that grow out of it, this body we have, this embodied strength. It takes a lot of bravery and courage to keep on going, and that's what this is, this embodied strength. And then our thoughts and our words and our deeds, the effervescence that comes out of this embodied strength. That's the Amidah to me. And I like to tell the kids at my religious school, I do music with them when I'm home. I like to tell them, see that tree over there? Eitz Chaim, that tree of life over there. They say, which one? I say, pick one, anyone. That's you. You've got roots in the ground. Your ancestors are what root you to the past. You've got a trunk. Look at your trunk right here. You're a living, breathing antenna. And I say, in your words and your deeds. That's like what comes out of the tree. That's like its transpiration, right? That's what connects you to Kol HaOlam. I say, let every tree be a mezuzah. You know, you touch a mezuzah when you go through a doorway, right? Every threshold. Right, I was in a holy space. I'm in another holy space. Imagine you're walking through the forest and every tree is like, changes it. Yeah. So we have a standing prayer for you now to close out our standing prayer. You can do it sitting. People say, I like this guy. We can do our standing prayer sitting. But there is a little work to keep you connected. There's a little hand thing. You cross your fingers and go side to side. Ashley's got it. And then you put your palms together in a twisting motion. And then you just reach up to the heavens like this. And that means stand when you're ready to become. Stand strong and surrender. When you're ready to be one. Let's try it. Here we go. When you're ready to become, stand strong and surrender. When you're ready to be one. If you want to be one with the water, dance with the river, sing with the sea. If you want to be one with the air, rage with the thunder and whisper to me. When you're ready to become, stand strong and surrender. Ready to be one. If you want to be one with the earth, melt with the mountains, shift with the sand. If you want to be one with the fire, burn all your bridges and reach for my hand. When you're ready to become, stand strong and surrender. Ready to be one. If you want to be one with the infinite, spin with the planets, shine with the stars. If you want to be one with your spirit, surrender. You already are ready to become, stand strong and surrender. Ready to be one. If you want to be one, if you want to be one, show me this song. If you want to be one, 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 if you want to be one. We like to do sign language applause. Sometimes that song becomes our Shema, if you want to be one. So, this is our sermon and song. This is a sermon that goes kind of like this, kind of like my brain. We're going to open all the doors and windows right now in celebration of Sukkot, because these holy structures that let in the rain and the bird poop and everything. Yeah, I knew you'd like that. They're metaphors. They're metaphors for this sanctuary, right? Because we're porous, and it's easy to become so. What's the word? What's the shell of? How do the shells grow of clams? They like accrete. Whatever that word is. We do that. We build up all this stuff that keeps us separate. Open all the doors and windows. Let the world move through you. Open all the doors and windows. Coming on through. Let's do it again. Open all the doors and windows. Let the world move through you. Open all the doors and windows. Coming on through. Couple more. Open all the doors and windows. Let the world move through you. Open all the doors and windows. Coming on through. One more. Open all the doors and windows. Let the world move through you. Open all the doors and windows. Coming on through. It's a brand new day. Welcome to your brand new place. I love the way you found your way. Made yourself a sacred space. You're standing on solid ground. You fit into your frame just right, but it's gonna tumble down if you're holding on too tight. You know that's right. So open all the doors and windows. Let the world move through you. Open all the doors and windows. Coming on through. Do it again. Sounds good. Open all the doors and windows. Let the world move through you. Open all the doors and windows. Coming on through. When you let the joy come in, how you gonna sort it through? As you let the world begin, then you let the leaves in too. Now you go clean and sweep, you hang on to the precious ones. There's wisdom in the things you keep, to put up in the morning sun. So much fun to open all the doors and windows. Let the world move through you. Open all the doors and windows. Coming on through. Do it again, yeah. Open all the doors and windows. Let the world move through you. Open all the doors and windows. Coming on through.
Calling on the wind of change, the wind of hope, to bring a healing rain. May we all get soaked.
Here's the cold, wet truth, yeah. It's hard to warm it on your own. You welcome in a friend or two. Now you made yourself a home. They can help fill the gaps and add a little extra room. Show you when to look out back in time to see the garden bloom. none too soon to
Open all the doors and windows. Let the world move through you. Open all the doors and windows. Coming on through, yes. Open all the doors and windows. Let the world move through you. Open all the doors and windows. Coming on through.
one more time.
Open all the doors and windows. Let the world move through you. Open all the doors and windows. Coming on through.
Hey, we want to offer, way out of order, a psalm. Once you've opened all the doors and windows, it's time to do what King David did. King David of blessed memory, remember? David Melech Yisrael, Chai Chai Vikai, right? How many folks learned that when they were 7 or 8 back in 1962? He was a complicated dude. And when we learned that song, we weren't thinking about all the complications, sending people to the front lines and stuff like that. And we're just like, David. Now you're like, David. He was gifted, like many of our luminaries and leaders, people that are in the public eye that have gifts and flaws, right? So let's celebrate his gift. He had a gift of poetry, and I was told he used to hang a harp above his bed at night so that when the north wind of Israel came through his window, his open window, it would strum the strings, it would wake him at midnight so he could remember his dream of Danielle and Rachel Woolman singing. Whatever the dream was. I'm serious about, like that last song, the To Be One song. That was a dream song. It was James Taylor singing it in my dream, but that was my song. It was my dream.
He hijacked your song.
He hijacked my song. So King David, the wind would come through. He'd be roused from his slumber, and and then he'd write, or however he composed. And that's where Psalms came from, many of them, from that what do we call that? That limbic place, that liminal space of half awake, half asleep. So one of those things that he did when his doors and windows were open was he composed Psalm 150. You're familiar. Kol Hanshama. Let's say Kol Hanshama.
Kol Hanshama.
Tehalleliyah.
Tehalleliyah.
Yeah. Let every breathing soul praise the source of all life. And we use this, we don't say the word God, we say Yah, as in hallelujah. We say Hallel, praise, Yah. The sound of life moving through you. Can you all do Yah? That's the ancient Hebrew word for God, is just the sound of life existing in motion through you. Yah. So with that in mind, we say Kol Hanshama.
Kol Hanshama.
Tehalleliyah.
Tehalleliyah.
And I think we can remember that without our books, hopefully. Snap, clap, double clap, snap, clap. Let's try it again. Snap, clap, double clap, snap, clap. And I tell people, make it like pixie dust. It's like, make it like it never stops. Because that's how life is. Never stops. Know what I'm saying? And, sometimes we do the Debbie Friedman version of Kol Hanshama, and sometimes we do some others that are a little more reserved, and this is the not reserved one. This is King David waking up and going, he was slaying in the spirit, as they say. He was like, praise God with cymbals, with drums, with everything you've got. Can you show him how to do that snap clap thing? Oh, we've got cantors in the house. Come on up, let's try it. Got your snap claps ready? We need that mic close to your snap claps, yeah. Bring it on back. Ready? 2, 3. Kol Hanshama, Kol Hanshama, Kol Hanshama, Tehalleliyah, praise Kol Hanshama, Kol Hanshama, Kol Hanshama, Tehalleliyah, praise, 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 praise. So I added some words.
Praise.
To Psalm 150.
Praise.
But it's all in the spirit
Praise.
of King David.
Praise.
Praise in the temple.
Praise.
Praise in the street.
Praise.
Praise God in the eyes
Praise.
of every face you meet.
Praise.
Praise for your partner.
Praise.
Praise for your foe.
Praise.
For everyone,
Praise.
everything you know.
Praise.
Kol Hanshama, Kol Hanshama, Kol Hanshama, Tehallelujah. Praise Kol Hanshama, Kol Hanshama, Kol Hanshama, Tehallelujah.
Praise. Praise.
Praise with your working.
Praise.
Praise with your play.
Praise.
Praise with your thinking.
Praise.
Every word you say.
Praise.
Praise with your fingers.
Praise.
Praise with your feet.
Praise.
Praise with your heart.
Praise.
Every single beat.
Praise.
Kol Hanshama, Kol Hanshama, Kol Hanshama, Tehallelujah.
Praise.
Kol Hanshama, Kol Hanshama, Kol Hanshama, Tehallelujah.
Praise.
Praise with a timbrel.
Praise.
Praise with a lute.
Praise.
Praise with a harp.
Praise.
Praise with a flute.
Praise.
Praise with a bucket.
Praise.
Praise with a pot.
Praise.
Praise with crashing cymbals.
Praise.
Everything you've got.
Praise.
Kol Hanshama, Kol Hanshama, Kol Hanshama, Tehallelujah. Praise Kol Hanshama, Kol Hanshama, Kol Hanshama, Tehallelujah. Praise Kol Hanshama, Kol Hanshama, Kol Hanshama, Tehallelujah. Praise Kol Hanshama, Kol Hanshama, Kol Hanshama, Tehallelujah. Praise. Simu Simu,
Simu. Simu.
Ahavatchem,
Ahavatchem.
Ba'olam.
Ba'olam.
You just said, put your love in the world. But it's second person plural, so it's all y'all put all y'all's love in the world. Simu Simu Ahavatchem,
Simu. Simu. Ahavatchem.
Ba'olam.
Ba'olam.
This is going to take a second. So in my congregation, there was a grandma came and said, my daughter's being bat mitzvahed. Can you write a song for Carly? And I said, tell me about her. And she did. And then I decided I had to meet Carly and get to know her a little bit. And as I was talking to her, I was like, I want to be like you when I grow up. I mean, I was 30 years older than her, but the more I just heard about, she had this mitzvah project raising money for guide dogs and for blind soldiers in Israel, and she had this other thing she was doing in our town for some of the homeless. There was a homeless shelter, and she was getting resources for that shelter, and like, you know, not like I gotta do stuff. It's just like how she walks through the world. It's just walking, talking to Tikkun Olam. You know, it was conditioned by her family, but she just took it and ran with it. That's what we were thinking about, yeah. Anyway, the more I talked to Carly, the more I decided I'm going to be like her when I grow up. And this is the song that came out. I think so. Let's start with Simu. Simu Simu Ahavatchem Ba'olam. Simu Simu Ahavatchem Ba'olam. Oh, I see. Is that the right key for you? Yeah. Simu Simu Ahavatchem Ba'olam. Simu Simu Ahavatchem Ba'olam. Simu ba'olam, simu simu ahavatchem ba'olam, simu simu ahavatchem ba'olam, simu simu ahavatchem ba'olam. I've been wondering, you do it.
I don't understand everything you do.
Go ahead.
I've been wandering, I don't understand. Stumbling around, blind and thirsty towards some promised land. But I remember once a whispering in my ear. Everything you do from your heart will surely echo here. So I dance and sing that tune. Pour my water on the ground and watch as roses bloom. Did you put more love in the world today? More love on your way to the setting sun. There is only one pleasure when you can honestly say, I put more love.
Were you wandering? Oh, I remember when we had to leave our home. Middle of the night, running blind, we were so alone. But we were grateful for the little that we had, cherishing the gifts and the kindness from each helping hand. Over time, we came to see it's a simple path that leads to true prosperity.
Did you put more love in the world today? More love on your way to the setting sun. There is only one measure when you can honestly say, I put more love.
Simu simu ahavatchem ba'olam, simu simu ahavatchem ba'olam, simu simu ahavatchem ba'olam, simu simu ahavatchem ba'olam.
Well, today I found a place I could not mend, sitting on the bed holding hands with a faithful friend. And I told her that the whole thing shook my faith, wondering aloud if our striving was really all a waste. She said there is just one task, and all that matters is your answer when the question's asked. Did you put more love in the world today? More love on your way to the setting sun. There is only one measure when you can honestly say, I put more love.
Simu simu ahavatchem ba'olam, 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 simu simu ahavatchem ba'olam. More love.
Billy, Ashley, and Sherman, thank you for giving us so much more love tonight than when we walked into this tent. We're grateful, and we're going to take that love and we're going to share it out with the world. And especially, we're going to share it with our loved ones who need healing. So call to mind somebody you're caring for, caring about. And if that person has a name that you'd like to share aloud, you can stand and share those names now. or you can just think those names quietly, a prayer for healing. I left all my notes under my chair. I'm going to go get them now. Tonight, our WRT community prays for healing for Rachel Rackhauer. Thank you, Cantor. Jennifer Leventhal, Roberta Friedman, Jeffrey Millman, Yisrael Ben Peril, Yochanan Ben Zippora, Marilyn Weiner, Judy Balsam, Esther Bat Mechel Varezel, Leah Bat Nina Bat Binyamin, Rachel Brocha, Lisa Schneider, Bruce Sharkey, Steve Gradzinski, Grace Neidish, Tony and Gina DeLappa, Matthew Atwood, Anthony and Elizabeth Dankner, Deborah Kapnick, Nicole Shusi, Neil Glasgow, Leah Greenspan, Masha Batsora, Andrew Goldstein, Ken Master, Chava Batsara, Eliyahu Chaim Ben Fredel, Sheila Freed, Malka Tzipora Bas Rachel, Tamar Bat Malka, Deborah Greenfield, Bonnie Shapiro, and Heschel Meir Ben Davida Chana. Can sing Misha Berach with us, and if you need the words, they're on 371.
Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say,
Aleinu L'Shabeach 586.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'tev gedula leotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kegoyei ha'aratzot, velo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
In order for a sukkah to be a kosher sukkah, it needs to have 3 walls. But here's the thing. The third wall of the sukkah is actually allowed to be very, very short. Actually, minimum requirement, the width of your hand, a hand's breadth. And it's still a kosher sukkah. So you can have 2 full walls and 1 very, very short wall, and your sukkah is actually just a lean-to. A sukkah with a diminished wall is still a sukkah. It's still kosher. It's still ritually fit. And so too, Somehow we find a way to be whole even when we are diminished, even when we have lost something precious, even when we've lost something so precious that we think we might not even be able to stand, we still stand. And so it is when we come here at this moment of our service to remember and to cherish anew the people who gave so much to our lives and whose love is still a part of us even when they are not. Our wall may be diminished, but we stand. This time we'd like to acknowledge our loved ones who died at this time of year, in previous years, and those taken recently. If you're within the first days of remembering a loved one who has died, would you please rise? Will those who are within 30 days of remembrance please rise at this time? And if you're within a first year of having laid to rest your loved one, would you please rise? And those who observe a yard site tonight, would you please stand? And let our entire community stand with you, give you warmth, give you comfort, and continue to give you love. As we remember those taken in the last 4 weeks, Ann Stuckler, mother of Patty Lubin, Lawrence C. Bassett, husband of Charlotte Bassett, Stanley Seltzer, grandfather of Matt Goldman, Jack Silver, father of Pam Rubin, Cheryl Bernstein, and Jill Kellner, Bruce Steinberg, husband of Eve Steinberg, and father of Jeffrey, Daniel, and Philip Steinberg, and Samuel Altman, brother of Joy Henschel, and uncle of Dale, Patty, Diane, and Judy Henschel. And those whose yard sighting we remember tonight: Jack Edelman, Barry Adler, Ruth Adler, Dorothy Adler, Howard Aarons, Eslyn Bassick, Sarah Burns, Saul Burns, Sandy Blum, Jeffrey Braverman, Laura Braverman, Edith Bravender, Stephen Cabot, Victor Citron, John Cohn, Cecil Dodick, Abraham Dolans, Dorothy Duckstein, T. Donald Eisenstein, Cynthia Callan, Molly Feldgus, Murray Feldman, Marilyn Fisher, Albert Formicola, Milton Friedman, Abraham Friedman, Charles Goldschmidt, Mark Heller, Gertrude Stoyer, Paul Herman, Harold Heyer, Simon Jacobson, Ellen Kent, Stanley Kirsch, Beryl Cohn, Ruth Cosson, Melvin Lieberman, Morris Melnick, Sidney Pepperbloom, Bernard Perelman, Martha Prince, Sylvia Ray, Betty Resnick, Irving Ressler, Martin Rindner, June Pearl Robinowitz, Edward Rosenthal, Esther Rothman, Emmanuel Salzman, Rose Sameth, Morris Schwitzman, Swanson Shields, Lillian Simberg, Jacob Singer, Anna L. Sloan, Sylvia Sporn, Mac Victor, Sonia Weitzner, Rose Goldman Waxenberg, Bloomy Weisbart, Rose Weiser, Morris Weston, Marjorie White, Richard Wiesenthal, and Helen Wilner. And if you have names to add to our commemoration, or if I have inadvertently mispronounced the loved one's name, would you kindly offer those names at this time?
Juna Lasfor and Laura Strauss.
Tehi zichronam baruch, may their memories be blessed as we bless the name of the God of life through the words of the Mourner's Kaddish on 598 together. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, b'agala v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevarach le'alam alamei al-maya, yiparach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnasei, v'yithadar v'yitale v'yithalal shemei dekudusha b'richu, le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, ta'amiran v'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen.
Warren Haber, our temple president, will you offer a few announcements?
Thank you all for joining us this evening. I'd like to thank our greeter, Judy Gross. A hearty mazel tov to our bat mitzvah families, family of Coco Zemixon, as well as Jordan Saperstein, both celebrating tomorrow. Some quick announcements. If you enjoyed Billy Jonas and his group, they're going to continue to perform this weekend, Friday through Sunday. Sukkot and Simchat Torah weekend celebration, including tomorrow morning in the CJL with sharing Shabbat. We also have simultaneously Torah study. Rabbi Citron's installation, need to RSVP online, and the consecration of our newest learners and Simchat Torah with, again, our special guests on Sunday at 4. We also have on Monday at 10 a.m. the Sheminei Atzeret Simchat Torah Yizkor service. We also have Rosh Chodesh, led by Cantor Kleinman and Cantor Radnitsky on Tuesday, 11:30. And what else? The 7 Jewish Conversations That Will Change Your Life with Rabbi Blake and Daniel Sokash on Wednesday at 7. And Musar training by Rabbi Sasha Bacon on Thursday at 6:45 via Zoom. Please shake your hands with me for Pete, Bill, Ashley, and Sherman. The Oneg will be held in the West Sukkah, which is behind me. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, and we just want to extend our gratitude one more time to Billy, to Ashley, to Sherman for opening our hearts and lifting our spirits this Shabbat. It's really an honor to have you with us this weekend, and we are very much looking forward to what is yet to come.
Yeah? Let's have a vote.
Is it reprise or is it reprise? Those who say the word is reprise, raise hands. Let's see. And those who say it's reprise. The reprise have it. We're going to do a reprise of More Love. A surprise reprise. I'll just remember. That's good. I'll remember rhymes with surprise. Simu simu ahavatchem ba'olam. Oh, you do the chorus, yeah, and then we'll do the simus, right?
Yes.
Can you use this one if that's cutting out?
Yeah.
Did you put more love in the world today? More love on your way to the setting sun. There is only one measure when you can honestly say, I put more love.
Simu simu ahavatchem ba'olam. Simu simu ahavatchem ba'olam. Simu simu ahavatchem ba'olam. Simu simu ahavatchem ba'olam. Did you put more love in the world today? More love on your way to the setting sun. There is only one measure when you can honestly say, I put
more love.
Simu simu ahavatchem ba'olam. 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 Simu ahavatchem ba'olam. Simu simu ahavatchem ba'olam. We hope you remember this as you're walking home, as you lie down, as you wake up, as you pass the doorposts of your house. When the driver cuts you off, when your kid doesn't do that thing they know they're supposed to do, and you're going to respond
Just let it be with more love. Even if you're angry, even if it's anger, if it's an admonition, if it comes from the heart, right? Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Lift up your voices, lift up this cup. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen l'chaim. Sure. Put your arm around somebody you know. Yeah, that's right. That person next to you is officially someone you know right now. It's a very well protected challah tonight. It's sparkly? Oh, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's just buoyant from all the joy and love that it took on tonight. Maybe. Here we go. For crying out loud. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat Shalom. Chag Sameach. Oneg is in the sukkah. If you haven't shaked a lulav yet, shake it. Take a lulav, take an etro, go into the sukkah. That's where we have a little nash and a little joy.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the guitar.